you guys enjoy your whatever that is.
All right. Test.
And hey there! Welcome back to Convincing Idiots, segment number 3. Joining you from the winner's circle of the 2024 Stanley Cup playoffs.
You got both your balls?
I got both. I got some balls. I am Millennial Nick, alongside Gen X Brian, and of course the love child of Don Johnson and Walter Matthau, our Zennial Dean. That is right. So we are coming to you for the third segment this evening, discussing some of our all-time favorite iconic movie endings. Now, these could be whether they're iconic, or there's a great twist, or it was super surprising, anything like that. Anything of that nature is what we're going to be discussing. I'm sorry, gentlemen, I'm just joining you from, as anyone who knows who's been listening for more than this year knows that sometimes I'm missing at this time of the calendar year, as it is the Stanley Cup playoffs, and I have been fortunate enough, and sometimes unfortunate enough, to see my favorite hockey team, the Toronto Maple Leafs, be in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And when they play on a podcast night, you gentlemen are gracious enough to pardon me from the show. So that is where I've been. But I trust that you guys have manned the ship well, and now I am here for segment number 3.
But why are you here, Nick?
Well, I'm here mostly because I'm in a happy mood.
Why?
Because the Leafs fucking won Game 6. We're taking it to a Game 7. We got victory shots here. I will be enjoying some of Wayne Gretzky's number 99 double Overcast whiskey.
And I'm doing some Cleveland bourbon.
Well, there you go. Bringing some of the Cleveland vibes to the 6.
That's right.
So here we go.
Excellent.
So cheers to you, gentlemen. And cheers to William Nylander specifically, and the rest of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
There we go.
All right. So, we're discussing, as I said, some of our iconic... and actually, this is fitting, because I'm a great tie-in, because tonight was an example of an iconic ending to a game. I shouldn't say an ending to a series, because we now have Game 7 on the horizon here. So, the story is not written just yet, but I am potentially witnessing myself in the sports world an iconic ending to a series in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So we're going to talk about movies tonight, though. We're going to talk about some of our favorite iconic movie endings.
Pissed.
Rick Tocchet, yeah, is that Rick Tocchet? Yes, Rick. It's spelled Tocchet. He probably is pissed.
Yeah.
He's a coach of the Canucks. That's a different thing. But yeah, anyway. So, were you guys keeping an eye on the game? Is that, I assume, why Rick Tocchet is on your TV? Nice.
Behind me right here.
Yeah, Dean said they just won. We probably will see, maybe we'll see Nick show up.
I was
here.
hoping.
So there you have it. There you go.
There it is.
Yep.
There it is.
Yep.
The glass shatters, and here I come.
That's right. That's right. The Dallas Cowboys of hockey have won. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful. Yep.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. That is. I was trying to make a good tie-in, but it's just the sad truth. It is. I am a fan of both of those teams, and that is a very true statement. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
well, it'll be the '90s Cowboys this year.
I like it. I like the vibes. I love it.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
I like it.
Fun fact, not that many of our listeners are hockey fans or anything like that, probably, but a gentleman who was a big hero for the Toronto Maple Leafs in the 90s, Ty Domi, big enforcer, great guy. His son, Max Domi, is now playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm hoping that's going to bring us some good vibes.
That's fun.
It's pretty cool. He's been in the league for a few years, and he's been bouncing around to different teams, and now he's finally with the Leafs, and I feel like that can really... He stepped into the top-line center role nicely in the absence of our Lord and Savior, Austin Matthews. So, feeling pretty good. But, okay, enough about that. We're talking... Right. I'm joining this show now. We're on this show, and we're talking movie... after I've just climaxed movie twists, movie
when
epic
movies
movie
come
endings.
best.
That's right. So,
Sure.
Brian, do we
All
have
right.
it correct?
Sure.
that's.
All right.
I'm
Thank
pretty
you for
sure
heading
that
that.
said that is what Brian said in the text that he sent us. It was like
Sure. Mm-hmm.
best end movie scenes to come to. Is that correct? Right?
Yeah, close enough.
Okay. All right. So Brian, you start us
Well,
off.
I
Lead the way.
didn't
Be the
get
example.
that. Well, if that was the case, I would have definitely put Homeward Bound as my number one.
Oh, dude, when Shadow rolls up over that hill,
Dude, I fucking lose it in my
dude,
pants.
just painting the ceiling like
Yep.
crazy.
Yep.
It's like a Jackson Pollock painting on the back of my fucking throat.
Mm-hmm. Mine is like Mac and Me. That's weird, isn't it?
In
I
your
don't know.
own? I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very talented.
Oh, Nick, great aim for
You
such a
joined
long
us, but
distance.
Brian and I were out drinking
All right.
before we started this.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Iconic movies with iconic endings. How about that? So my
There
first
you go.
one,
That's a good one.
Kill Bill 2. I'm going to start with that one. This is one of my favorite. Kill Bill 1 and 2 are one of my favorite things that Quentin Tarantino ever made. I just love these movies. Uma Thurman at the top of her game. Just the effects, everything, the beautiful, so many scenes are shot so beautifully, the martial arts, etc., etc. But it all comes to a climax when she faces off against Bill, the late David Carradine, and she gives him the completely, of course, crazy nuts, mythical exploding heart thing where she, hits him in the chest or whatever, and he stands up, straightens his jacket, walks away, and it's like when you walk 10 steps, on the 10th step your heart explodes and you die. And that's exactly what happened. Collapsed, and then she rides off with her daughter. Happy ending of the movie, everything else here. But the whole end scene, the whole climax, just fucking fantastic. Love those movies. So Kill Bill 2 is
That's
one
good
on
ending.
my top 5. Absolutely.
Yep, that's good ending.
Yep. Dean.
Right. My number one.
Is that because he acts like an old man?
No, you said the Don Johnson joke. It's funny.
Oh,
yeah.
See, there's two Dons you're channeling right now.
Right?
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
Your old man and your, pop culture old man.
We should get him on the show sometime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'll reach out. We go
All
back.
right.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
Good. Mm-hmm.
All right. My number one.
Did you cut that shirt into a deeper V than it
No,
was
it's
originally?
a tank top. Look, it's us. Look at our
It just looked like it
asses.
was cut down even lower than was.
No, I'm
meant
just
to be.
fat and I keep looking over and it's just the way it falls.
I said earlier,
My-
Nick, it's a 10.
my
It's a
fat
10.
tits
It's a
just
10x.
squeeze.
It's a 10x. It's just how
We're
it fits.
we are a wardrobe malfunction waiting to happen over here.
Mhm.
Nice.
Just
You want to see nipple?
I
one
like
nip
it.
slip. Oh, it's
There-
happened.
Oh,
There you
what?
go.
Yep. The ratings on
NSFW.
YouTube just skyrocketed. Yeah. Brazil
I'm
ratings
glad
just increased.
I'm glad we've been fucking around here because, I can't read my handwriting for this one.
Oh, great.
So I'm going to go with my number 2. It's a Wonderful Life. Very wholesome. It is
good one.
iconic.
Yeah.
Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. And Jimmy Stewart, just with his beautiful fucking face. That's right. That's right. Just, it's terrific. The townspeople bringing in the money to save him after he spent years, essentially saving them throughout theirs. It's just a wholesome, beautiful ending to a movie. Love it.
Yes.
One of my favorite movies, hands down.
Sure.
I'm with you. And the book, was it Huck Finn he has? Is that what he gave him a copy of? That Clarence
Yes.
is reading?
Yes.
And the passage inside there, no man, what did he say? No man is poor who has friends, or something like that. So
Yeah.
something like that. But it's
No
nice to-
man is poor if you swallow your friends.
Ah,
There you go.
okay.
It is
Yeah.
It's a very wholesome and nice message. The sad reality is life so rarely works out that way if you help other people. So in my experience, don't do that.
That's true. No.
Yeah. But it's a nice thought. It is wholesome and a nice thought.
Gets me every time. There you go.
That's right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm going to swipe an easy one. I'm going to gobble up an easy one because none of you have said it yet, and you've each had a turn to go. Planet of the Apes is an iconic ending. I feel like it's kind of the one that eluded this conversation. It's kind of the one that brought this on.
Right.
Certainly, the big twist at the end of that is when Charlton Heston is on that beach and sees the Statue of Liberty half buried under sand. And you kind of come to that realization that they have traveled through time and they're in a different reality, and very cool. Go ahead.
What I don't know if a lot of people understand the ending. It is actually quite it's quite scientific if you think about it. If you go up into space and you spend so much time away from the center of the Earth as it spins, it's going to go faster than you do. So Charlton Heston's character went so far out into space that time kept going, but he didn't. So scientifically, it was actually pretty accurate. I mean, there's some flaws here and there.
Yeah.
But scientifically, if this Earth spins and the farther you get away from it, it will, everything will seem like you're to the person. It's Einstein's relativity idea, right?
Now, who is that?
Charlton Heston, he was an actor.
No. Einstein, is it?
Einstein.
Yeah.
He was a smart dude who loved saving money on insurance. He loves saving money on electric bikes and loved tattoos.
Absolutely.
And sometimes
he's a
he
smart
talked
man.
about physics.
Absolutely.
He's a funny looking guy in our logo. Yeah.
Oh, that fella.
Interesting. That's the guy that told me about RPM Bike Shop. Our friends located in Carrollton, Ohio. And he
Sounds
told
like
me, if
Albert.
I can impart one piece of wisdom to you, please pass this message along to others. So I would be remiss if I did not tell our listeners to check out our friends
Quite frankly, you'd be
in
an
Carrollton,
asshole.
Ohio. RPM Bike Shop. If you don't believe me or Albert Einstein, you can go to their Facebook page and search RPM Bike Shop to see the wonderful products they have to offer you. Or you can go to their website, rpmbikeshop.com, or give them a call at 330-808-7792 today just to see what all of that Einstein fuss was about for yourself and see the fantastic products that they have to offer you today at RPM Bike Shop.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you,
that's right.
Professor Zeniel Dean. Thank you.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Like Walter Matthau.
There's no need to run so far away when you can ride so far away on your own electric bike from
That's
RPM
right.
Bike Shop.
Yes. Very good. Very good. Next one on my list here, guys. Am I next?
Sure.
You're next. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to give you
In 18 minutes.
Wow. The Thing. We talked about this movie on several occasions on this podcast here. So, John Carpenter's The Thing, Kurt Russell, to the very end of the movie, the two remaining survivors are there. They're going to freeze to death. Is one the thing, one not the thing, whatever, but they're going to sit there, relax, and kind of watch each other die. And you still don't know. That movie ends at a point where you don't really know for sure if the alien is in either guy or if it got out somehow, but the two remaining survivors are going to sit there and kind of watch each other sort of sit there and freeze to death and die just to be sure. That's it. Very cryptic ending of that movie, very fitting ending of that movie. Very, very good. So, The Thing made
All
my
right.
list.
Nice.
All right. My next one is Reservoir Dogs. Reservoir Dogs, I don't even remember what year that was, late 90s, mid to late 90s, but the scene of all the bad guys who just got done with the heist, pointing their guns at each other, and at the same time, everybody shoots each other, and just everybody dies. Just you're not expecting it. You spent this whole time. You spent this whole time, getting to know these characters and loving the characters, and then they do what is expected of criminals. They turn on each other and all shoot each other. It's a brilliant ending. So, Reservoir Dogs is my next list.
Very good.
Nice. Very good. Mine. I would be next then.
Yes, sir.
For my next submission, I will go with a very iconic ending. It's one that at the time was, I think, one of the first, certainly one of the biggest of this director's films, The Sixth Sense by M. Night Shyamalan. The whole thing of the I see dead people, and Bruce Willis is trying to help the boy figure this out, and then come to find that at the end, spoiler alert, he in fact is a dead person, and that is why the creepy child Haley Joel Osment can see him in the first place. So, to this day, it is the single most horrifying movie I've ever seen in my life. That child creeps the fuck out of me. It's only akin to AI, which he also was in, because that child is horrifying. But The Sixth Sense is on my list. And like I said, it was just an iconic movie ending. It was one that was spoofed many times, and just at the time, I don't know. Are you guys correct me if I'm wrong? Was that M. Night Shyamalan's? That was like his first big movie, right? Like that was kind of what got people.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, Signs came after that. I know that. Signs was a big one, and The Village and The Lady in the Water, all those kind of followed. But I think Signs was Sixth Sense was his first really big hit. But definitely a good movie. People there's different takes on his stuff. Yeah, like with the twist endings, he's kind of known for that. But that was the one that really caught people off guard and was a really popular movie, so I put that one on my list.
That was good. It was a brilliant setup to that ending, and you saw it coming. You saw it, but didn't see it. So right. I had no idea when I watched it the first time. I was like, "Wow!" The movie. I was like, it makes total sense. When they replayed it,
the second time, you're like, fuck, how did I not get that?
No, you're right. You're right. That's the point. It was so obvious, the ending, but it wasn't obvious.
Right.
Yeah. So it was very, very good. Yeah, well done. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. My turn?
I think I'm after... Are you after Nick, or am I after Nick?
Nick just went, so...
I don't remember who went before me.
I've got limited battery here. So I'm going to go with The Usual Suspects. The Usual Suspects is one of those, the kind of whodunit, crime riddled movies. And then at the end, you find out that the guy that's been telling the story as the Weasley, low life of the group, who's been kind of snitching the whole movie, telling the story, turns out to be the actual big bad boss, Kaiser Sose. That iconic scene where Kevin Spacey is limping along, and then it turns into Nick, no. Where Kevin Spacey's limp turns into a full-blown just badass walk, because he was the mastermind and the guy that they've been looking for years, not just for this job, but for
Dean Harvey just called Kevin Spacey a badass on this podcast.
I'm talking about the character in the movie Usual Suspects, which is the next thing on my list.
All right, very good. Very good. All right, I'm going to give you Raiders.
Despicable.
That's right.
Well, it's Nick's turn, but you could jump ahead.
No, wait.
You're actually sleazier than someone who might hang out in Miami, Florida, if that's possible. I don't know how that makes you feel.
I think you reversed the order of That's perfectly okay. So I'm going to give you my next one.
Brian, this is what happens when you invite drunk people on your podcast. I don't know what to tell you.
That's it.
Oh, fucking which way's up and down. Fuck it.
Yep. Drunk people
Enjoy
with the
your
chest,
victory, dickhead.
chest exposed. Craziness. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Great ending of that movie. Yeah, I don't even mean the whole scene. It's at the very, very end where all the trouble to retrieve the Ark for the U.S. government, and Harrison Ford is fighting to put it in a museum, do something with it, and he says, the U.S. government's like, we have top men working on it. It's great, top men, and they pan out the whole scene where they hammer it into the crate, label it, and just the vast warehouse that shows the old man is kind of pushing it down the cart and and you wonder what in the hell is in all those crates and everything, and they just sort of file it away. It later, of course, made a reappearance in one of the sequels. The Crystal Skull? It made a brief appearance there in that movie where someone broke open a crate. There was the Ark there and stuff like that. But anyways, just a brilliant ending. All the work to get it, and they just fucking put it away, never to be seen again in the U.S. government. Never tap into it, never really research it, and that's it. Brilliant. Nick?
Brilliant. Okay, I gave you guys chances. This is my third go around. You guys have each had 3 chances to mention it, and Empire Strikes Back.
Does Dallas.
Come on. Empire Strikes Back is an incredibly
interesting,
potentially the most iconic twist ending of any movie ever.
You're right.
That's
the
a
big
good one.
reveal. Did you either of you have it? You've written down or anything? No,
Jesus, you're right.
Really, it's blatantly
Nope.
up. Both that and Planet of the
Jesus.
Apes. I was like, these are the ones all 3 of us will have. But yeah, Empire Strikes Back, man. The I'm Your Father, like the big reveal in Star Wars. I would argue it's the most iconic twist ending in any film ever. It's certainly the most
good call.
Pop culture relevant one, and certainly relevant to the show. But obviously, you go through this story with Luke Skywalker and the evil Empire and Darth Vader, the big villain, only to find out that who he's fighting against is actually his father, who he had previously known as a Jedi Knight who was dead, and turns out he's still alive, and he is the very menace that he is fighting against. So Empire Strikes Back's got to be like
good call.
The one,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Way up there, and it was, as I said before on this podcast, arguably one of the greatest cliffhanger endings ever.
Oh, for
Because
sure. One of your main characters is actively like his life and future in this franchise is in jeopardy.
Upside down.
Yeah. And then as a me living as a kid through it, where I'm in 6th grade and that movie ended, I had to wait 3 fucking years. Think about that. 3 years to understand what the fuck happened to Han Solo. What happened?
What am I going to do till then? I guess I'll just jerk off like crazy. I don't know.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah, well, sure.
From 6th grade, 8th grade, who knows?
It was nutty. Yeah. I have no women in 6th grade. Right? To no women in 9th grade. You know what I mean? It was sort of that sort of.
It's like your sexual peak was also frozen in carbonite. Like there was you're just stranded there. Like nothing, no movement.
That's good.
He didn't get to have sex until like the 378th grade.
No, but seriously, any movie that was set up like that, it was like there's not many movies where it ended where it's like, what the fuck? And you had to wait years to find out what happened.
Also, another thing you can say about it is like every other movie after that, every other movie like sequels or whatever is compared to that's the Empire Strikes Back part of this story.
That's brilliant.
People look at that as a call to the story arc.
Yeah, that's right. It's brilliant. Brilliant.
So yeah, Empire Strikes Back.
Very good, Nick.
George
Very
Lucas and a
good.
billionaire for no reason.
I
Yep, go
can't
ahead.
believe neither one of you had that written down.
I'm actually embarrassed. I'm
You
quite
should
embarrassed
be.
for Brian.
This very podcast was built on a Star Wars foundation. How actually
I
fucking dare you?
know. All right, my turn, or whose turn is it? All right.
I think I decided it's your turn. Dean's
Good,
turn.
thank you. All right. Well, again, one of these is I would assume you guys would have chosen also. Marvel's Avengers Endgame.
Mm.
Yeah, sure.
That whole last battle scene,
Man, phenomenal.
multiplied with the funeral of Tony Stark at the end.
Yeah.
All of that is just out of whatever 10 15-year generation that you see now, is one of the most iconic endings in that period.
Yeah.
From Captain America being able to wield Mjolnir, in battle, to, well, shit, just when he thought it was the end, and like all the ring portals open up and all his friends come out, or the Avengers, what do you want to call them? Just everything about it is just iconic and amazing, and it's just terrific. So
yeah.
Avengers Endgame is my next one.
Yeah, that
Very
was
good.
one of the funnest experiences in a theater.
Yes,
I remember, because it was like
cheers.
The cheers of people, and you were perfectly fine that people were cheering in a theater. It was just like it was a collective energy and excitement for how all that played out. And you're right, and you're right. The funeral scene that they've talked about, that was all legit. That was all. Everyone was there, and just the coordination to get that many big name actors in the same room at the same time to shoot that live, shoot that as an actual scene was very, very difficult to do in itself, with schedules and all that stuff. So yeah, just a great,
and furthermore,
great
to keep it quiet. I mean, as far as in today's age,
really,
with spoilers and the internet, like everything you could possibly know, like to actually feel surprised to see like a character or something is impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
I haven't seen Nick cheer that much in a movie theater than probably Schindler's List. It was impressive.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, to see that many people all in one place, and then you understand.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
We don't have to go.
Logistics was great.
You're fine. Yeah.
All right, I've talked about this movie on various episodes for various reasons, including recently. But I'm going to give it to you, the Night of the Living Dead, the original George Romero Night of the Living Dead. The ending of this movie was so shocking, to where the group of people live through hell throughout the entire movie, and the hero is like a black dude that just comes out. And in that era, again, this is 1968, the fact that you have a hero that's a black man in the movie to begin with was different at the time period. But he manages to live through all the hell, including everyone in the house he's there, all the died, fights off the zombies, all the hell. And then the next morning, like all the local posse coming down, the humans are, cleaning out the zombies and so forth. And the guy sees somebody moving in the window and shoots him, kills him, grabs the body, throws him on the fire. Movie ends. It's like, what in the fuck? But it also makes you wonder. It's a whole other dynamic of that ending, where did the guy that shoot him see he was a black guy and just shoot him? Did he just think he was a zombie? Never know. They never say.
What did you think, Brian? What was your outtake of it?
My initial reaction was they didn't know that it was a black guy. It was something moving in the window, and he was shot and killed. I didn't put the race thing into
See,
it. But
that's
again,
immediately
that's
what I
part of
thought it was.
that's part of the discussion with that
I,
movie.
I
It was just the abrupt ending where the guy lived through. I took it to where here's a guy lived through fucking hell. He made it, and he got killed anyway because people aren't fucking paying attention, and they're just so quick. They just want the humans want to just kill,
yeah.
right, and not pay attention if somebody's actually a survivor or not. The fact that people get to just kill things freely was it just created so much chaos with the zombies and the humans becoming the most the evil part of people.
Sure.
Right. And just threw him in the fucking fire. It ended abruptly. Bam. And that was just such a brilliant ending to that. And usually a zombie movie, there's some closure where people get away. There's some semblance of a quote unquote happy ending or so forth. That movie started with tragedy and ended with tragedy so suddenly and abruptly. It was like, wow, just brilliant. George Romero again, brilliant.
If you would have done that movie which they did do it later in years,
great remake though. It was a great
remake.
Different take on it, but great. Yeah, go ahead.
If you would have done that in that, in say, I'm just throwing out a year, 2004 for the first time, and the ending that it did, you're like, oh wow, that's a crazy ending. Very cool. But knowing what the time period was like and what the director, his stance and his, outlook, I knew that before I watched it. I was a teenager. I didn't watch it, in my youth. I watched it as a teenager and understood, what the 60s meant, not only to, to film, but pop culture. And I understood, and I got a way different point of view of how that movie ended.
Sure. Part of the point.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right.
It's interesting. That's like a very, I mean, I'm not even making a joke or anything. Like, that's very interesting. Like, how you can, like you said, that's how the movie was intended, how two people can see it and think two different things about it and have two different points of view and total different perspectives. Very cool.
Yep. Very good. Nick, I think you're up.
Yeah. Have either of you seen the film Mystic River?
Yes.
Sean Penn, Kevin Bacon, Tim Robbins. Fantastic fucking movie. It's probably one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Sean Penn is my very favorite actor of all time, and this might be my favorite movie that he was in. Essentially, to take you through a brief synopsis, 3 friends growing up, which are the 3 that I rattled off there. They're childhood friends. Something traumatic happens to one of them. I don't want to spoil anything. Brian, have you seen Mystic River?
Man, it's been years, maybe. I don't remember.
I strongly recommend you watch it. Not only is it an incredible twist or surprise ending, but the acting. Like I said, the guys that I just named off, incredible movie, incredible acting. Just a lot of instances of raw emotion and just great acting in that movie. Essentially, something happens traumatic to Tim Robbins' character in the film, and these kids all kind of split their separate ways, and then it essentially all their paths lead together at the end. And I don't know. It's hard to explain, I guess, to like someone who hasn't. I don't want to spoil it, but it's a very surprise ending. It's really well written, the way that it kind of takes you down a path thinking that you know which way it's going. It leads you down a certain type of train of thought that you think how you know it's going to end, and then it kind of intertwines them all again at the end, right? Like as they're adults in their adult lives, it brings them all back together, and I just absolutely love that movie. So Mystic River is on my list as well.
Very good.
Excellent. Dean?
All right, my final movie of my list is my favorite. I saved the best for last because, to me, some of the best inspirational endings are sports movies, right?
What
And
sports movie was Kevin Spacey in?
Hmm.
no. This
No.
one is Tom Berenger.
Passion of the Christ.
Nope. This one, my top favorite ending of a movie is Major League from 1989.
No, very good.
So Tom Berenger, Charlie Sheen, Corbin Burnson, all of these guys come together in one of the greatest epic sports movies ever to be made. But the Cleveland Indians winning, I get at least the American League pennant.
It was,
But
yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
The ending with Tom Berenger at the plate, pointing to the stands like Babe Ruth and bunting, and it's just amazing. The whole sequence is just spine chilling. I don't care if you're an Indians fan or not.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
No one's an Indians fan anymore. People are Guardians
that's true.
fans.
Guardians fan.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless if you're a fan of Cleveland or not, it is just an amazing. Just you get goosebumps, or at least I do every time I watch it. So, Major League is my number one.
There you go.
Very good. Excellent. Well, Nick, I had to overlap Planet of the Apes. I'll give you so.
Okay.
It wasn't my. I will swap out one of my honorable mentions here. I'm going to give you. I haven't seen this movie in a long time here, but the ending I thought was extremely well done. The Truman Show, Jim Carrey.
Oh yeah.
The whole movie is, he learns he's in a reality show. He doesn't realize it, and he realizes he is, and just it's a brilliant ending of a movie. Goes out in the boat, as we know, he hits the exit, which happens to be the sunset. Opens the door, turns around, takes a bow, steps out, closes the door. End the movie. Fantastic. Just a great ending of a movie in general. So, Truman Show, Jim Carrey, fantastic. Brilliantly written.
Fantastic. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Yep. Nick?
All right. For my final, once again, can't believe nobody picked up on this one. One of my favorite movies of all time. Jingle All the Way. What an epic conclusion to Jingle All the Way. Not only does he go through this entire day seeking a Turbo Man, but at the end of it all, he ends up being Turbo Man, much to his own surprise. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Howard Langston, is put into a Turbo Man costume and ends up being able to gift a Turbo Man doll to his own son, in which he has been seeking all day long, and none other than Turbo Man's outfit. It is the twist of all twists. It's so many mind fucks in one scene you can't even really comprehend. It truly is the ultimate twist. So, Jingle All the Way. Arnold Schwarzenegger becoming Turbo Man in the Winter Festival Parade, the Wintertainment Parade, is quite honestly the most epic, I would have to say, of all epic endings. And I hear no disagreements, so I know everyone agrees. So, that probably wins the day. But nevertheless, that is my final pick.
Any honorable mentions?
I do have an honorable mention, yeah.
Go ahead, Nick, keep it going.
Yeah, my honorable mentions, I also had Inception written down. That was a really incredible ending as well. What was that, 2010, 11, something like that? Leonardo DiCaprio, where, it's just, it really fucks with your mind. It was almost like a Matrix kind of thing, where like the further you get into it, the more you understand it, and the dream sequences, and at the end of it all, it's just kind of, and it really is kind of a dream sequence. So Inception I also had written down as well, but it didn't make my top 5. Also, I mean, obviously it didn't beat out Jingle All the Way, so what else could? So Brian, honorable mentions.
A couple here. Rocky, the original, just a brilliant ending. Lost a fight, but had a personal triumph. Just beautifully shot. Fantastic. I also had It's a Wonderful Life. We talked about that earlier. Psycho, Nick, I know one of your favorite movies as well. Just a brilliant scene where you hear his mother talking in a cell, and
Yeah.
it turns out Norman Bates is just there by himself. Just a creepy ending. The look on his face, just fabulous. Just brilliant acting and directing by Hitchcock. Shawshank Redemption, arguably one of the happiest endings of any film at all. Just mostly when they reunited on the beach, followed it, just beautiful. The hell that these two men lived through, only to see it finally end perfectly together on the beach. Planes, Trains, Automobiles. I watch this movie every Thanksgiving. Just it's a touching ending of that movie to build up where you realize that John Candy's wife has been dead the whole time. You kind of see it maybe coming a little bit, but you don't want to believe it. But two men coming together that in normal circumstances would not have. At Major League Dean as well. Christmas Vacation. I think it's a great ending of that movie with just Clark Griswold wins. Beautiful moment with his family. Gets me every year. Yep. Love it. And I'm going to give you the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original movie. Just the whole scene where the final girl gets away in the back of the pickup truck, driving away, and Leatherface chasing after the truck, sawing the back of it for a minute, and the truck pulls away, and she's laughing hysterically, and he's just out there just dancing in the middle of the road with the saw.
Yeah,
just a
good one.
Bizarre movie, but just a great way to end such a strange movie and so well acted. So that's it. Dean?
All right, I only have one. Going through all of them. My honorable mention is The Shining.
So good. Yeah. Good.
Very cool. How they brought it up where like he'd always been there, and then just
why do you sound different?
There, like all of his other successors. Just frozen in this. I mean, at the first glance, it's kind of silly of him just being, frozen, in the maze, but it's fitting. He's there forever, just like all of his, predecessors. So The Shining is my
excellent.
Nice.
Well, gentlemen, like so many brilliant endings, there's so many spectacular movies. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, the brilliant ending of this episode has now arrived. So, Nick, will you please bring us out, sir, in however way you wish?
Well,
but it should be brilliant and thought-provoking, and make our viewers in Brazil remember it, and listeners in Brazil remember it, please. Thank you.
Wow. Well, for the people in Brazil and all over the world, I must tell you to follow us on all your favorite social media accounts. And rather than list them all off to you, I would tell you to go to our link tree. And for that, you just simply go to Google and type in Convincing Idiots Linktree, LINKTREE, and there you will find all of your favorite social media platforms in which you can follow us, like, subscribe, rate, review, so on and so forth. There are also links to our merch store, as I would have said off the top had I been here. You can also find that and so much more on our website, and that is convincingidiots.wordpress.com. So, for this epic ending to Convincing Idiots. I am Millennial Nick.
I'm the Zennial Dean.
Gen X Brian.
Have we convinced you to come back next week and see if perhaps we can offer you one and our first epic episode of Convincing Idiots?
Sure.
Some of us are drunk. Hey there, if you like that video, or if you just like to watch us make fools of ourselves, please like and subscribe to this channel. We really appreciate it. We hope to see you back here.
Ham gravy.
Sure.
Right now, I feel like if Don Johnson and Walter Matthau had a kid, that'd be you.
That is the greatest compliment I've ever. Why are we not doing the show? Let's